Hey guys, if you want to keep up with the Melon Party and everything we're doing, you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram under the Melon Party name.
Or you can reach us on the Melon Party hotline, 317-520-3168. Or shoot us over an email at themelonpartypod@gmail.com.
Now, let's party.
Yo, I was in the shower. Call me back.
What's up, guys? I'm Josh.
I'm Jared.
And as always, we are joined with the man behind the curtain, BJ.
What up, Beach?
So, it's been another minute. Jared, BJ, what's up, guys? How you been?
Man, I don't know.
We had a rough start here to this.
I did, man. It's been a tough morning here in the Beatty mind. You know, I got work calls coming in. I got stress on my mind, and I mean, I dropped the ball at trivia, you know, a couple weeks ago, man. Yeah. And I've had this trivia thing on my mind, and I mean, it literally ruined my days. Like 3 days, I was thinking about this. So I play trivia here in Seymour with the Morale Committee, my team. Shout out Morale Committee. We play at Rails. We play at Pizza Palace every weekend when they have it. So a few weeks ago, we were playing at Rails, and I'm pretty good. Morale Committee's pretty good. We're usually in the money in the top 3 every week, and right in my wheelhouse, you know, a movie category and a horror movie, and it was so easy, you know. This 1994 or like 1990s movie villain with a hooked hand was played by Tony Todd, and I was like, oh yeah, that's obviously Candyman. You know, with the bees and the hooked guy or whatever. I was like, oh, yeah, that's Candyman. Sweet. So I was like, oh, that's... And I'm writing down the answer, and I write down Sandman. Because my brain is stupid. And I'm like, I'm saying Candyman in my head. I write Sandman. I take it up, and I turn it in, and I hand it to my next-door neighbor, JT Patterson. Him and his brother, Patty Brothers, they run the trivia, so shout out JT. And I hand it to him. And as soon as, like, the paper leaves my fingers, I go, ugh, and I go, no! And I, like, try to snatch it back from him, but it's already gone. And then I just, like, start throwing a fucking fit in trivia. I'm like a child. I'm stomping my feet on the ground going, shit, fuck, no. Because I wagered the max points on it, too, because I was so sure of it being Sandman that I wrote. So dumb.
That's so embarrassing. I wish I would have been
Oh my
there.
God. And I came back and my team were like, what's wrong with you?
I
was like, it's wrong. And they're all like, what? How? And I was like, I'm stupid. That's how.
I would have loved to see the
oh
fit.
my God, dude.
I would have loved to see
We ended up winning, so it didn't matter that night. It was a lot closer than it should have been, obviously, because I gagged up like the max 5-pointer that round on Sandman instead of Candyman. I was furious about it. I couldn't let it go the rest of that day, and then like the next day at work, I just like was like fucking Sandman. I wrote what was Sandman?
Just
Sandman
eat you up for days.
Oh man, furious!
Throwing a child fit,
absolute tantrum, stomping my feet like a child in trivia. It's wrong.
You should have just went on the floor and started
I
kicking in
wanted
the air.
to. I was so mad. People thought I had like a conniption. They probably think I have like, you know,
people definitely think you're autistic.
Tourette's or something.
Yeah,
man.
It's like, oh, that dude's
man,
he's autistic.
So yeah, and I mean, yeah. That's just kind of how that day went, and it's just kind of rolled over into work and life.
You've had a rough morning today.
Man, it's stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, we had to do a retake.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot. But anyway.
You know, a little interesting thing about the Candyman is that he had, in that movie, had a contract written up where he would get paid, it was like something like $25,000 or something per bee sting.
Oh, that's right, because he had to do all the bees.
Yeah,
so I remember hearing about
his
that.
people had a contract,
hilarious.
and he got paid.
He probably got a couple $100 G's off them bees,
man,
boy.
Dude, he's probably in there going, sting
dude,
me.
He had him like in
but
his
he had
mouth.
him in a mouth. Yeah,
he
was in some
wild, boy. Good shout out Tony Todd, though.
That's a
cool
great
movie.
contract to have. That's when you know the people who are representing you are looking after you. When they come to you, it's like, hey, listen, you're playing with bees, man. Let's get you something drawn up to get you paid.
Sandman. What Still
because the
burned up on
Sandman series just came
it.
out,
I know.
and it was you
So
you've got
dumb.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
dumb.
I'm trying to help you here, but no, I think
know.
you're just a
It's
fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. It was super,
I just
super
wanted to see. I just want to see the tantrum. I would.
Oh,
I would
man.
have fell out. I would have been.
Oh,
I
man.
would have
Somebody,
been
I should have
hyena
like
laughing.
my neighbor JT. If you're listening, man, you should call and like describe my tantrum, or Liz. Liz was probably there. Any
Yeah.
of the morale committee that I know is listening,
Yeah.
man. You should tell them about my tantrum. It was
Oh
pretty
man,
funny, man. It was
that's
crazy.
fucking great. Dude, you just snap like that like, over something so dumb.
Stomping my feet like a child. Hilarious. So dumb.
So we got the summertime.
Yeah, man. I was walking the dogs the other day. I saw it was like the last day of school at Emerson. Saw like the parents were there, and I saw on their board. It's like the last day of school.
Summertime.
So, yeah,
Summertime.
saw all the kids like riding their bikes around already today.
Yeah,
Just,
that's
like,
been a
getting
big
after it.
thing. Yeah, yesterday was a day where they let like the kids at my daughter's school. They basically watched like YouTube and shit most of the day. They didn't
you
do
just
nothing.
Well,
But we
never
noticed
did
in the
nothing
neighborhood
last
because
day, so.
our neighborhood's really great at. This is one of the I've paid 2 HOAs in my life. The first one in our first house, the HOA didn't do shit. It sucked. I didn't like HOA. I was like, I want to get away from this. Then we found this house that we're living in now with this neighborhood has an HOA. Was like, all right, this is going to be the last HOA I ever give a shot to. But the HOA takes care of. They do some really great stuff. Roads are nice in the neighborhood. But so for the last day of summer, an ice cream truck pulls up and parks in the neighborhood, gives
Okay.
away free ice cream
Oh, free ice cream
to every kid. I mean, and then
Yeah.
this isn't
It
just
ain't
like
free. You're paying for it through that HOA, son.
well,
but
that's
cool.
fine.
That's
but
cool.
they
At least you're getting something.
they were like they looked at Meg and I was like, what do you want? I was like, oh, we don't. I was like, that's fine. We're not gonna take your shit. It was like they're like, no, you can't. So we got one thing. Her and I shared a little creamsicle. But but the ice cream, it's the Ninja Turtles with the gumball eyeballs.
yeah,
It's like the legendary. They weren't cutting corners and giving
Yeah.
away free. This was everything free.
Yeah, well,
I
hell
mean,
yeah, that's sick.
It was awesome. And then the HOA also during the Halloween, our neighborhood's a massive trick or treat destination for even people in the
Yeah,
town. Or whatever.
dog. Hell yeah,
But yeah,
you'd
you
be
get-
giving away the full candy
Yeah,
bars
you
in your
get
neighborhood.
you get some dope shit in our
You
neighborhood.
got a
But they
nice fucking
they bring
neighborhood.
the
I wanna
coffee
go
trucks
trick-or-treating
in.
there.
You should come and hang out. We do a whole dinner and stuff. Megan does it's
I
her
know,
favorite
you tell me,
holiday.
yeah.
Just come and hang out with
Need
us.
to do another one of them dope dinner
Murder mysteries.
mysteries.
Yeah,
hell
we'll do
yeah,
one of
that
those.
shit was hot.
But we've been talking. We want to do a private chef and then have
Yeah.
throw a big party and have like a private catering chef company come in and cook for us
Yeah,
all.
you
and
should
stuff.
do it on your yacht.
No. I don't want you peasants like you on my
I
fucking yacht.
know.
My yacht has 2 stoves.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know. 2 ovens, dueling ovens.
Two
so
stoves,
you can
2
make,
ovens.
You can make 1 Tostinos and 1
Yeah.
pizza rolls while you're
Yeah, I've also
boating
we,
your regatta.
we have an air fryer built into our boat.
Oh, sick. How about that? You are.
But
an
yeah,
air fryer.
so the summertime is a great time. I love the kids and being able to see the kids get off the bus and stuff, and it's just an exciting, and it really makes you think like looking back, it's like, man, that was the dopest of times.
Dude, I mean, like,
You know?
I was talking about it the other day. I was having dinner with a friend, and we were kind of talking about, and I asked him if his kids were out of school, and he's like, yeah, yesterday was their last day, or today was the last day, I think he said. And I was like, oh, dang, so they're going to be running around. And, as a parent, I can't experience that, but I just remember when I was young, dude, when summer hit, dude, when I woke up, if I wasn't playing games, I'm out the door. I'm gone,
Gone.
all day.
As
son.
soon as you wake up, gone.
Gone.
Hit
on
somebody
my
on the
bike.
phone.
Yeah, call somebody on the phone. Hey, what are you doing? I'm coming over.
Yeah, some of them may not be up yet.
Yeah, go wake them up,
Yeah.
man. Go wake
Yeah.
your friends up out of bed. Get them out of bed. Come on, let's go. Be like, what are we doing? Like, let's go
Yeah.
find something to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Ride
gonna
your bike.
be gone, but my wife has a situation where she worked her offices. She's got multiple offices, but her main office is at the house. And so she's going to be at home working with these kids around, and she's trying to figure out how she's going to entertain them. So we've got the pass for the whole fam to go to the city pool. They just built this brand new splash pad pool thing, really great.
Oh, hell yeah.
So she can go there and work and let the kids run around. But like she's work because our kids are just go bodies,
Yeah.
and so
you gotta have something for kids to do, man.
Yeah.
They get stir crazy easy, man. Get bored easy.
so her solution is that we're going to buy a trampoline for
Yeah,
them.
there you go, man. That's the ultimate summer gift that
Yeah.
everybody in Indiana, man. They gotta the trampoline market in Indiana has to be huge. you
It's-
know?
it's a
How
big
many
market for it.
trampolines are in this state? I mean, like 1 out of 10 houses
Well,
got a trampoline.
we've got the house on the other side of our tree line and the house to our left or right, depending on what way you're facing, have trampolines.
Yeah.
You know, and then I mean, it's something in Indiana. Yeah, and this one we're getting
Kids
got a
always be getting the
sprinklers, and
trampolines.
they got a
Sprinklers
they got
on
a
it.
they got a lights, they got a basketball hoop, of
What?
course. So she's
What kind of
that's
bougie
that's-
trampoline is this, man?
It's not. I mean, the thing is, I'm paying less for this one than the one I saved my own money up for when I was like 13,
Oh,
14
yeah.
and bought and put together
the
at my
market
house.
has been cut under on the trampoline
I
market. Has gotten
guess.
way
It's-
cheaper,
it's
like
just-
like plasma TVs.
Yeah, danger's gotten cheaper, you know, like
Pure danger.
speaking of mine, man, I got this I saved up money. I was mowing grass at this time. I paid $600 for this trim when they when they first came out. And it was one you remember my trampoline. It was a big one.
Full size.
It was a big
boy.
one.
It was like 12.
Yeah, I
feet
went all. I
wide,
got the big boy. And so,
You could
yeah,
get
it was the
multiple.
16. I think it was the
Yeah,
16.
it was huge.
Massive. I mean, you didn't have like 5 of us jumping
Yeah.
on it and be fine.
Yeah.
And so I got this thing, put it together that day, finally get it. Exciting day for Josh, right? So I get it and I'm building it and we get it put together or whatever. And then that night for church, we had some kids coming in from Tennessee and we are going to have, I think, like 4 or 5 boys come and stay at our
Yeah,
house. And like
nice.
that, you know.
Okay.
And so that day, get the trampoline put together. I jump on it for maybe like 10 minutes. And then mom's like, we got to go to church. And
Yeah.
they got to do the church service. And then we're bringing the kids. I'm like, damn, man, I didn't get, you know, it's
You
like,
didn't
yeah, whole
get to
feel.
break it in.
Right.
dude.
We've talked about that where you get the sweet toy for Christmas and then have
Yeah.
to go to Christmas dinner. You're like,
Ah,
damn,
you
you
can't
know,
even
like,
get
or
to
lunch.
play with
Yeah.
it. You just know it's there the
Yeah.
whole time. You're just like,
Yeah. And it's like, you just want to like get back and play with it. Right.
oh, absolutely.
So I'm
man.
dealing with that. We get to the church and we do the church service, whatever, get the guys, and, you know, I'm letting them know, hey, man, we got a trampoline at the house. And it's like, oh, shit, you know. So we get there, and it's a little bit of nighttime. And one of the guys, we're all out there playing, and one of the guys is like, I've got a trampoline at home.
Okay.
And he's like, and I do front flips off of it.
okay, I'm a savvy vet of the tramp
Yeah.
game. Watch this, son.
Yeah, and he's like, I can do front flips off of it on the ground. And I'm like,
What?
and of course, at that age, I'm like, I want to see that.
Of course.
I want to see
show
that.
me.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Prove it, you know?
Prove it, son.
And so he
show me your
does.
flips. He does a flip off of the
He
trampoline
bounces
onto
it.
the ground.
He's getting his good bouncing in. I'm like, and I'm starting to think, man,
a
that's
front flip onto
Yeah,
his feet.
and-
How
and-
old is this? You guys are like 10, 12?
no. I was
15?
13, 14,
Yeah, okay, teenager. Okay.
and so he starts, and I think he's just gonna like bounce and go.
yeah.
But this dude's getting bounces in. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like he's
Really
this is
going.
getting crazy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
He's a gymnast.
So me and these other guys are sitting there watching it, and he does the flip, and it's like in slow motion, like dun, 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 you know, like, but he doesn't make it over, and he lands directly on top of his head, and
No.
And
on his head.
on
the
his
grid.
head. And gets to his feet, and this man is dizzy. You can see it. You can see it in the strut.
Scrambled his brains.
Oh man! So of course my mom.
Danger,
I mean,
Will
this dude hasn't been in Indiana for 12 hours, and now he has
Has a
a
concussion.
bruised brain. Yeah, take him to
Concussion.
the hospital.
Seriously,
Yeah.
hospital.
Goes to the hospital.
Oh wow,
Because
he's hurt.
like he's in bad shape, and he goes to the hospital. His parents come from Tennessee, this and that.
From Tennessee
Eh,
to get him.
Yeah, and he's in the hospital for 2 days. They keep him in the 2 days, and he had a bruise on his
Whoa.
brain.
Oh damn, subdural hematoma they call that. son.
First fucking night, and my dad come home flipping. He's like, "I told you this was a terrible idea. I don't want nobody on this other than you," because he's worried about getting sued.
Oh yeah, the liability, your homeowner's insurance
Yeah.
rates just tripled.
Thankfully, the parents were cool about it. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's a kid.
He's been hurt on him before on the one we got at home. It's like,
Oh,
you know, he
okay.
does
Like,
dumb stuff a lot. And we're
His
like,
brain's
oh, good.
already broken
Yeah.
from the one at home.
But I think about that kid a lot. Like, I mean, wonder where he's at, you know. But I
probably
love the guts, you know, the no guts, no glory.
probably playing football.
Like him and I would have probably gotten along on that trip. Like him and I would
That's
have been probably the
hilarious.
closest because that kind
Oh,
of attitude at that
trampolines.
age. If he would have landed that dude was a king.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man, you would have been a legend. You would have
Yeah,
got a
I would have
standing
remembered
L.
his name if he landed his feet.
You
I don't know. I don't remember
You
his
just
name.
remember
because-
him as brain bruised
Yeah,
dude.
remember the dude who almost ruined my
Yeah.
good time.
Remember the dude who took 30 points off his IQ in my backyard? You know, that was
God.
pretty good
I-
times.
So we had a bounce house.
Okay.
Right. And first time we had a bounce house, the kids were young, and I was UFC was huge at the time, and I'm just tapping kids out,
Yeah.
like choking them out, doing everything.
Yeah.
And then I was mid-20s, right?
Sure.
Probably 26, 27. 32 years old, we get a bounce house at a friend's house, and my son's like, "Hey, Dad, can you do a backflip?" I was like, "I can still do a backflip."
32.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
And
pushing
a bounce
it.
house, not a trampoline, a bounce
Yeah.
house.
Right. That's not the same.
Yeah, you're
spring.
not getting quite the jump on it.
So I did backflip, had a sock, slipped on the back, landed on my shoulder where my neck made a sound.
Yeah. Break
And
your
for
collarbone.
the next 2 years, until I went to a chiropractor, I couldn't move my neck. And I sold it. Sold
It's
it.
fine.
There's people from work there. It was like a work friend invited
Oh.
us. And I sold it, and I got up, and I did it again and landed it.
Yeah.
And then the whole time, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to grab some water. And I was like in tears.
For 2 years, you had the
Crying
Michael
into your
Keaton
water.
Batman.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton Batman neck.
I went to the chiropractor with a towel or belt. I said, just,
Yeah, break my neck
You know,
here back into place, please.
And I just remember the euphoria when they were like, wow, your neck's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What happened? I was just like, oh, just wear and tear from sport. I said
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Didn't
sport.
say bounce house
accident.
in
Yeah.
2012.
Life of a linebacker, you know, Doc?
Bounce house calamity. Nah, that was 7 years in Nam, bro.
I was like, I played-
Rucking a sack around.
I said I played rugby and roller derby. you know?
Roller derby. Oh my goodness.
And the thing too, the one we're getting has like the netting around it,
Yeah,
like
you see
like
those a lot,
yeah,
though.
Is that not
trampoline.
more dangerous?
No, like trampoline injuries
don't
is
fall
is
off.
gone down a lot.
Yeah.
Like compared, like I mean,
What are you
still,
putting it in the ground or are you having the legs?
See, I wanted to put it in the ground because I think that's cool to have it level, run, and then jump,
Recess
and
it.
because my daughter was like kind of interested in gymnastics and stuff. There's your fucking pommel horse kind of thing, you know. But
Yeah.
my wife's like, and then she's like, what if then we're done with it, or we sell the house and we have this huge. Yeah, I was like, well, we bury it. We put some dirt over top of the whole thing.
Oh,
No,
bury the trampoline?
No, I was like, yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Make
But,
a booby
yeah, like,
trap over there.
The trampolines are a great time, and it's definitely going to keep the kids.
I like
busy.
the trampolines also. Like, again, we spoke, there's got to be a 10% market share of trampoline exposure in the state of, or at least in southern
Sales,
Indiana.
I mean, yeah.
They're everywhere. But they're a multi class toy, you know. You
Oh, yeah.
see the trampolines in the trailer parks and the white trash houses all the time. I mean,
Right.
that's like the number one toy. Because
Yeah.
you see them like in the summer at Walmart be hanging up on the outside
Oh,
of the
yeah,
building,
yeah.
like $130 for
Yeah.
that big sucker now. Like, that's nothing.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because they end up in the trailer parks from the tornadoes in the Midwest.
Yeah,
And the,
they get blooded.
and the kids wake up and they're like, "Oh my God, Mom, we got the trampoline." They're like, "What? Yeah, we just bought it."
Yeah. Or Santa finally delivered it, you know?
Yeah, just blew into from somebody else's yard into your yard.
Yeah,
You
man,
kept
because those
it.
videos are crazy. Those trampolines taking off.
Yeah,
man.
dude, that's what I'm saying. Be
That's
careful, man. Yeah,
dangerous.
you have to stake that dude down, or it's
Yeah,
just a big
well,
sale.
I mean, we'll make sure it's done right and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
that'll keep them busy.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, I remember when we were younger, you got to find shit to do. So I mean, like video games that just came out when we were young, so you spend a long time in the house, maybe like in the hottest part of the days of the summer, you'd be playing the games. But again, man, you'd be getting up in the morning, first thing, 7, 8 in the morning, getting up early. You can get on your bike and you go goddamn anywhere in Seymour, man.
Yeah.
I mean, miles. Seymour's a small town, but it's wide area where you could
It was
like
spread
where your
out.
friends are. You
Yeah.
know, like you have friends that live like Andy and like Ryan used to live out at like Freeman Field. You know,
Yeah.
I'd ride my bike out to Freeman Field way out there. You know,
Yeah.
and freaking like. all over the place, man. I'd be like riding my bike out to the movie theater.
Yeah, the bike was a big deal, and that's why we would
Had to have a
would
bike.
spend money on our bikes because it was
So
our
much.
vehicle.
You had to.
I mean,
have
I would
a
drive
nice
to I would
bike.
ride my bike to Columbus, jump on 11, and hit Columbus, and
Before I
it's-
had my license freshman year, when we moved out to Freetown, when I went back out there, dude, that first summer.
yeah, you'd ride back into town.
I rode into town only one time. I
Yeah,
only did it one
and
time.
slept.
Died. Almost
Came-
died.
Showed
dude.
up to Alan's house.
Showed
and
up
just
at Allen's at
went to bed.
like 10 in the morning. Alan was going to like summer school and like weight training for football or
Yeah.
something, and I just like slept in his house. He came home, saw me sleeping in his house, saw my bike outside. He's like, "How the hell did you get here?" I was like, "Bro, I rode my bike from Freetown." He was like, "What did you just say to me?" Riding that over inward hill was not
Yeah.
easy.
Oh,
I had to
no.
push it up that hill.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to push it up that hill.
You riding the brakes on the way down too. You'd be knocking the wheels off coming down,
Crazy.
hitting knock
Yeah,
70.
I coasted to Cortland down off
Oh,
that
yeah.
sucker.
Get the feet up, and
Yeah.
just go, man.
But yeah, man, I mean, you'd be going anywhere. And I mean, your parents had no idea where. There were no cell phones.
Well, it was the saying, "Be home before the streetlights come
Yeah.
on," because they didn't. It was just like they were rolling the dice,
Be
baby.
anywhere doing anything.
Boys
in
club.
downtown. Yeah,
Boys
you go to
club.
the club.
But everybody knew who you were, so if there wasn't like someone called like, "Yeah, BJ and those guys were down, they were down here."
We saw
Yeah.
them. They were here.
Well,
you
that
know.
was one of our rules with my mom. Was like my aunt lived a couple houses down, and so my cousin stuff would be there, or my aunt. And the rule was like just at lunch, check in with your aunt. Just let her know you're alive, and then be home. Try to be home at around 4 because mom was going to be home at that time. Check in with me, and then you're free to go do whatever. So
Right.
I had these time frames where it's like, all right, I had up to this time.
right.
to that,
Like,
but,
okay,
you
where
know,
can I get to? And
Yeah,
back?
what can we do at
Yeah.
this time? And like, yeah, I mean, just adventures every day.
Dude,
not
you'd
know
be
what you're going to get into.
Just
No
getting
plans.
into it, yeah. Just like running around on the train tracks, like get up on the
Yeah.
trestles behind
Yep.
like Pizza Palace and be like
Yeah.
throwing rocks at pigeons
Yeah,
and shit.
just
go to the
whatever.
co-op and just be pigeon slaying at the over there.
Yeah, I did. We did
Dumb
a
shit.
because we had that bike store popped up in the town and was selling all. So we all had saved
Oh,
up money,
yeah.
got the nice dynos and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, be getting dinos.
Is that the one the mayor
Huffies.
started or eventually owned? Matt, is that the one he eventually owned on Tippin, or was it a different one?
I have no idea.
so,
This, yeah, I
maybe.
can't remember.
Because he ran that shop before.
Yeah.
I remember that because
Yeah.
I remember that bike shop to open up because I remember I had a Haro.
Haros were
Oh,
nice. Yeah, the
Haros were
Haros.
It was stolen. Jared knows where it came from.
Amazing.
Timmy came home with it. and
Amazing.
Spray painted it all black, so no one knew what. I was like, man, it's before flat black was cool because
Yeah. Yeah.
just it had
Hilarious.
pegs on front
Oh
and back.
my gosh.
Yeah.
My brother's always been so big into bikes. He
And-
still to this day has bikes.
Till we had to give it back to the rifle.
Yeah, I had my because that's one of the reasons I got a dyno with the mag wheels, and I
Yeah,
got
you
it. It
had a
was
nice
purple
bike. I remember
with the
those.
speckle black because I knew
Yeah.
it was one of a kind. Like
Yeah, no one
my
else
bike,
would have
yeah,
that. Yeah.
still got stolen.
Yeah.
And the guy ripped the
Sorry
ripped the
about that.
stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
and it was I don't want to say their name, but they were neighbors to a friend of ours in our neighborhood.
I bet I
and
know who it was. It's probably the same dude who robbed my house out in
Probably,
Freetown.
yeah. And they were just known for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then one night I'm on the back pegs of one of the buddies there in the neighborhood. He was taking me to the house, and this guy on my bike comes riding right past us, and I went, "That's my bike." And so we followed him over to the house, and
Just
the
take
main
it
guy,
back, man.
the main guy at the house, was always really nice to us.
Yeah.
He ran with rougher people, and he was a
Yeah.
rougher guy, but he was always
Cool.
super cool to us.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, hey, I don't want to say his name, but hey, I was like, that's my bike. And he turned and looked at the dude and goes, "Did you steal this dude's bike?" And the guy was like, "Oh, I found it laying." And I was like, "No, you didn't. It was laying in front of my buddy John's house." Because that's where we just,
Yeah.
that's how our parents knew where we were at in the
Right,
neighborhood too. Is
yeah.
where my
Where your
dog
bikes
Ladybug was,
Yeah.
and the bike was parked. They
Yeah.
knew we were there. And the guy was like, "No, give him his fucking bike back, man." And he apologized and shit about it and stuff. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I got my bike back.
There's always a little
But-
street justice in
Yeah,
the town. That
but I
was the
had-
cool thing about having my crazy ass brother, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he'd be like, "Oh, well, somebody fucking with you. Somebody steal
Yeah,
your bike." Like
'cause-
somebody steal my bike, he'd find it in an hour.
yeah,
He'd
he'd
be like,
make-
I'll find your bike.
Yeah, he knew. He knew a couple people to
I'll
go
fuck
to
your bike,
first
bro.
thing.
And then Timmy
Yeah.
would bring you back one. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's not mine. He's like, ah, shit, stole the. All right.
All right. Well,
stole the-
just
we'll
keep this one for now.
backyard.
But keep it in the back shed.
Just stick it under the half pipe in my backyard right now.
But I had one stolen from Walmart because you just park them out front and go in, and then somebody come out and be like, "Oh, that's nice," and take it, because there was all these nice bikes in our neighborhood because of that
Who was
shop.
that?
And
There was that dude who lived over on like McDonald Street over by Geyser, who was like a bike mechanic at his house and had like that graveyard of bikes in his backyard.
There's one in
hundreds of bikes in that dude's yard, bro.
There's one in Greenwood that's like this where I live at. Like every weekend, he's like, "All right, I got the new bikes put out. Have a bunch of bikes set out." But
he had dope stuff, and he'd just like sell them out of his garage every day. He'd have like 6 nice bikes out there that he'd just like pick
brand
up.
new.
now you think about it,
together.
and also thing is also chop shot. Well, if I take these forks off this one, and then take this one, and then
file off these serial numbers.
Oh man.
I mean, like I said, man, bikes. I mean, and the other thing we were saying earlier before we were recording this, and Seymour bikes are super important in chappy mopeds because everybody's got a DUI there. Nobody can drive. They got to figure out a way to get around, man.
It was a DUI, or they didn't like
they lost their license speeding,
or they just didn't they didn't spend enough time in school. They weren't, they
to just
get
dropped
to
out
where
of
they,
school to
to get their license.
Driver's ed,
and
so
everyone had gray duct tape on the seat.
Oh yeah.
Loved it. Headlight had duct tape.
Yeah, because the seat would only last a month in the fucking Indiana weather from going from super hot to like, immediately cracks.
You're like 40 degrees in the morning and 80 degrees in the afternoon.
And then you're cruising in fucking middle of the summer, and your sweaty ass is just fucking tearing that thing. Like those seats weren't made to like last.
And then and then you see the people like the nice scooters. Like, look at these people.
Yeah.
Who are
who do you think you are?
They have helmets.
Yeah.
But like
that match.
Yeah, my friends were the chappy people with the and then they pull up in front of your house and just like right away, my mom would be like, that person's a hood. Like, what is a hood?
Yeah.
What is a hood?
They're the wrong element.
Yeah, the wrong element.
Dude, like we would just be
a little rough around the edges.
Dude, I love trailer park people. They're like, "Oh yeah, can I ride that?" Yeah, ride it. Then ask, "Can you ride this? Do you know how to? Do you know how to ride?
Let me
a bike?
ride that.
Oh man,
let me ride that. Yeah."
And this is before no video cameras.
Yeah, man. This is when you needed cell phone footage.
And you're like,
oh my god, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, like another thing too we would do in the summers, man, especially in my neighborhood, because as I was getting older, they were building around my neighborhood. They added Dutchman Lane houses around the back. They added the Boys and Girls Club. So a great thing we would do is go find a construction site.
Yeah, all kinds of
get into a house being built or a building that's framed up. Oh man,
good
do dirt clod fucking fights.
Yeah, boy. Be like jousting with 2x4s and shit.
Yeah,
like crazy shit.
Finding a construction site was
nothing funner than a little like B&E and vandalism as a youth.
Oh
in
man,
a small
breaking
town.
into a house. I remember one summer we had this guy. We were probably second grade, I think, Brown, and there was a guy in our neighborhood, Nathan Gand was his name. I remember this guy from the get-go.
Heather Gann's brother.
Is that who it is? See, I haven't been able to find. I've been on social media trying to find.
I couldn't find
Nathan
Heather.
Gann.
I think I've seen Heather Gann once, maybe on MySpace in early 2000s.
Yeah, I've been looking for this guy.
Heather was like grade school beautiful. Is that a good? Is that? Am I okay to say that?
Because you're the same age as her.
I'll allow it.
She's not in grade school now.
Because she started my affliction for dark skin.
Really?
Yeah,
because they were like Native American or like something of that.
Yeah, she had complexion. I had complexion, and I was like, plus she was smart though.
Yeah. But and then there was this summer, and then all of a sudden, like one day, and he's like, "Hey, we're moving to California or somewhere," and we're like, "What?" And like next day, the sign pops up. And we're like, "Well, this is happening fast, brother." Because at that age, you had your boys and stuff, and you're just like, "What the fuck? I'm never gonna see." There wasn't the internet.
No,
I'm not gonna write you
yeah,
letters.
No, we're not pen paling this, bro.
And you don't have a phone yet, so you don't know the number. So please take my number. So it's left on him to contact me to let me know his, and it's like, and he didn't. And so I've been looking for, but I remember he moves out. I mean, it was quick, like in a week. And I don't know if his parents worked for like Ison or somebody that just moved him quickly.
Moved for a job or something, probably.
But they left the house unlocked.
Oh, okay.
And so the house is empty. So for like a week,
Be
we would
going in
just
there.
go into their house and hang out.
Just
And
chill
then
out in
yeah,
there.
we took like little Nerf goals and put them on each side of the wall in the living
Be
room.
full court.
We're playing full court
Oh
Nerf
my
in this
God,
house.
dude,
And we
that
just
sounds
made
sick.
sure we let all the other guys in the neighborhood know, hey man, like Gan's house is open.
Oh yeah,
and we
the
did
clubhouse,
Yeah,
bro.
it's like this is where we're gonna hang out. We didn't damage anything,
Right.
Nothing
Just-
like that. We just wanted our own private
Yeah.
house, like no
That's
parents,
sick,
nothing.
bro.
We would go to each other's
That's
house
some
and get
Lord
some
of the
s-
Flies shit,
yeah, and get
bro.
some snacks and then go into there, go
That's
into their
so
house and eat
awesome,
lunch and
man.
shit.
That is so.
But yeah,
sick.
playing full court Nerf in there, and then we'd come in and like, this is where Nathan's room was. I'm gonna take this as my room. We all had room, but we didn't have nothing in them, you know.
Yeah.
But it was like it was our own little clubhouse to play pretend
Yeah.
in and shit.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, we did that, and then that happened for about a week, and then we went in there to check it out, and they had them locked up at that
Yeah,
time.
They're like,
So-
oh, man, somebody in here cutting up.
Yeah.
Very interesting question based off Seinfeld. Did you guys have Winter George and Summer George?
Winter and summer.
So did you have your summer friends, and when you got back in school, you're like,
Right.
yeah, that was just for the summer. Like now I'm here with like,
kind of. I mean,
I gotta
like,
fit in with
everybody
my
did
people
that
at school.
growing Up, I think. I mean, everybody kind of did that growing up, where you kind of went flitted from friend group to friend group. I mean, I know I did.
I mean, early on in the neighborhood friends, so like we didn't all go to the same elementary schools,
right? Yeah.
But we hung out every day because we were in the neighborhoods together.
Yeah.
But like each one, we all teamed up and had our gatherings and our days where we do stuff together. But
Yeah.
also each friend that I had, him and I had our own specific
Things.
specialty
Yes.
that we did together.
Yes.
That they liked, that
Yes.
I liked, but the other guys didn't really
Right,
get down
we're-
on this.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
but then we would also all come together and play
Right,
like tennis ball
whatever.
or play
Sure,
some
sure,
football
sure,
together.
sure.
But it's like this was like my
Yeah.
action. I like the way he did action figures. So like
Yeah,
if I wanted to be creative and set up
Uh-huh.
action figure stuff,
This
I did it
dude's
with
got
him.
the pool table.
Yeah,
you
if I wanted
know,
to like
play
just
pool with
go
him
and
or
play
whatever.
like some basketball against somebody or whatever,
Yeah.
this was the guy for that. If I wanted to go just raise some hell, it was
Yeah,
this guy.
right.
And you had like your
Oh,
own specialties.
Get a cut up today. Like
Yeah.
that's when you go. That's when you go with the hood.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
so
gonna
I
go
was
cut up.
all right.
today.
So the way Josh just explained, it's a very political, very nice way to say things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Mine was like, I can't be seen with you because you're the dirty kid. But I can do dirty shit with you.
Yeah.
But at school, I play sports. These are, you know,
Yeah.
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 See,
You're in remedial math. I'm not. So we can't,
Yeah.
like, it's not going to work.
It's true, but it happens.
In fourth grade, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
But see, and
Right.
that's the thing is I was that one. I was the one people would be like, I'm not hanging out with. We're not gonna hang out at school. Like you
Yeah.
don't. But in the neighborhood or whatever,
You
I'm gonna
were-
be hitting you
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
But don't tell anybody. You slept over. We hung out. You know,
Right.
like,
That was
don't-
me my
Yeah.
8th grade and freshman year. I was the trailer kid. Like, hey,
Yeah.
that's the trailer kid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he's really good at basketball.
Yeah.
Right. So we want him to play, but like watch your shit when he comes over,
Yeah.
right? You know?
Make sure
Count
you
your Nintendo
make sure he
games.
leaves
Write
the
your
basketball.
names on your
Yeah.
Nintendo games in Sharpie before he comes over.
Make sure he doesn't go and steal my underwear, you know. That's to this day people are like and I remember it was Andy Udy. I just saw her recently, her and her husband, great people.
Yeah.
And I remember like going to her house and going inside and it was just like, what is this place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
And then the next time I went over, I just stayed outside. In the
Yeah,
driveway.
like, I
She's
don't
like,
wanna
you
go
want to
in
come
there.
in? I was like, no, we can just
It's
stay out
kinda
here.
nice out
I did that
there.
with so many
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
Even in middle school or whatever, I'd go over their house. I remember going over a girl's house, and I just remember staying outside
Yeah.
because I was like,
I don't
if
want to sully their house.
I was just like, because of Timmy's reputation
sure.
and
Sure.
and where I lived at, they're thinking
Yeah.
like, yeah, he
Uh-huh.
may take the propane.
Case
We don't
in-
know.
There's
Case
gonna
in a
be
jar.
eyes on me at all times.
But
Yeah.
now look where we are. I just fixed an espresso in the studio Keurig. I mean, we
Oh,
are.
I saw you doing that.
Yeah.
I almost said, "Hey, man, you know, mind if I get one?" So
water-
after this, I might.
We
get
got
me
got
one.
water stocked up. I mean, we are.
we are bougie, man.
yeah.
Getting there,
Big
guys.
time, dude.
We're getting there. We're going.
We're
We're going.
one percenters over
Yeah,
here.
we're going to be big time soon.
nice cafe mocha in the
Oh,
morning.
nice.
Delicious.
That's
Listen,
great.
chill out, Clooney. Have another Nescafe.
Just a bunch of fucking trailer trash kids doing a podcast.
You
Yeah,
know it,
this is what you
man.
call new
That's what
money.
I'm talking about, man. Yeah, like when
Should
I
never
moved
gave
out
y'all
to,
money.
like when I moved out to Freetown and started hooking up with the country kids out in Freetown during the summer. Hey, that's a whole new element of summer cutting up down there. Man, we built a 9-hole golf course out there one
That's
summer.
great.
Mowed different levels of fairway and greens. Had cups and flags. You're only allowed to play with one club and one ball, though. So if you hit your ball in one of the ponds, you had to go try to find it, or off in the woods, you had to go try to find it. You'll be hitting like 9 irons around, man. There were a few house shots, and
They're still waiting for their cult leader to come home.
Well,
Most likely it'd be a cult leader.
Yeah.
And the last name Beatty.
Yeah. I mean, Freetown was great, man. I mean, one summer, man, we got in the Stealth, the Toyota Corolla, my little red 4-door car that I had growing up, man. We get out there in the summer, 4 of us, all with 22 long rifles. Get into the car. Go drive around through the Houston and Kurtz, Zelma, out there in the Indiana National Forest in Freetown. Shoot anything that fucking moves or doesn't, man. Just
told you,
signs, vultures, trees. Like, we took that car out mudding in a field one day. My little car, taking it through
a
just
go-kart.
rain. They just tilled it, man. I was like, what? Cutting, dude, like 60 miles an hour through a field in that car, dude. Get it all the way back and bog it down in the mud. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna get stuck out here. We all get out, but it was a Toyota, didn't weigh nothing. There were 4 of us. We get out, we just push that fucking thing, push it right out, and get back.
That car was a go-kart. Like, it was.
Man. I put that car through hell.
When you and I would get in that front seat, man, there was a lot of room we took up. Like, those tall, long asses in this little fucking go-kart, man. Bumping Wu-Tang.
Day I came home from getting my license from Seymour, I got pulled over going back to Freetown doing 87.55.
Attaboy.
State county sheriff pulled me over going back to Freetown, flying down just had passed Red Brush coming out there towards Freetown.
You just immediately is like, hey, won't you guys put me on your
Pulled me
radar?
over,
I
gave me
just
like
got
a
my license.
$187 ticket in 1997.
Which is like $5,000.
Yeah, and I was just like, I had to take defensive driving because he gave me like all the points on my license. I had my license a day. And
Go
I'd
sell a
immediately
kidney
take
to pay it. And
That
shit.
a boy.
Driving where they send you like the VHS.
And you have to
email.
watch it because he says a code word. I had the
Yeah.
Cajun guy. Potato.
Yeah.
On the right of way, you need wait, back up. Did he say potato?
Yeah.
I used to drive so goddamn fast, man.
We all did.
Terrible.
I couldn't drive fast. I had an '83 Chevette. It was plum purple. Adam Pollard broke the heater. He was trying to move it over to the hot, and he
just
pulled so hard he
broke it.
snapped it.
Snapped
Yeah.
his vent
So it was
thing.
stuck in the middle.
Stuck on that one.
And I had a Wu-Tang sticker I bought from Tennessee on the front of it.
Hilarious, bro.
And I had a date in it, and she actually went with me. But she's from Brownstown, so it is what it is. She agreed to go out. I actually know who that girl was. A very nice girl. They owned Grays on the way out to Brownstown.
yeah,
All that stuff on the left, it was her.
Yeah.
And
nice.
like she had like a beautiful car because whatever. And I have an
That's the
'83
money.
plum purple Chevette, and she's just riding around with me. And I was like,
awesome. Dude.
You know she's a real one if she's doing that.
yeah, I never went out with her again. But I was like, that was my mistake. Was never going out with like the nice ones.
Yeah.
Mine was chasing like the fucking whatever.
Crazies.
Ones for the streets.
Yeah. Dude, man. So much
Had a lot of
shenanigans, dude.
Yeah, summer was, yeah,
best.
it's just.
Do you ever guys ever go to the pool?
Oh, yeah, dude. Me and Worski got
Yeah.
season passes like 6th or 7th grade to the pool, and we go up there every fucking day. Whatever year, it was the year that Under the Bridge, that Red Hot Chili Peppers song came out.
Yeah.
Because they would that song was on at the pool 30 times
93?
a day. Yeah, like we had to be like
1993, maybe, 94.
93, 94, somewhere around there. But yeah, me and Worski, they were like $40 for a season pass to the pool.
I got some
Hell
some
yeah.
shit on the pool. So I loved because it wasn't that far from me.
Yeah.
So it was a quick little go for me.
It's a
And then
hoof
they
for
had
me,
the white airheads had just come out, and they were serving those.
Yeah.
Those were great. But I
The
I
white
went
airheads.
to the pool until one day, man. I wore these yellow swim trunks, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were basically see-through.
See-through.
When you get them wet.
Out
And
there showing the
oh
goods.
man, and
huh?
I'm getting I guess
1991.
91.
Okay, so it would have been like 6th grade. Yeah,
And so
that's hilarious.
I go and I want to get to the high dive, and it's a busy day.
yeah,
And so, but the high dive climb was kind of straight up, and then you had like a platform, kind of went up. You made your way up, and you waiting in line. You're like waiting on the ladder, or whatever. And these two high school girls, because I am fucking maybe 5th grade,
10.
yeah, 6th grade, something like that.
Prepubescent.
Yeah, and I'm there, and these girls behind me are just
dying.
ripping me apart with my butt. You know, just like, look at this boy's butt, you know, and they're just getting and just absolutely embarrass me. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I get up, then I jump off or whatever. I'm staying away from them. And then I get up out and I'm going. I'm like, oh, you know, and at this time I'm a loud, outgoing, wild kid,
sure.
you know. With high confidence
10.
for no reason, you know. So I'm like, and I'm running to the concession stand, and then these guys start just giving me shit.
Dying.
A high school dude just
Yeah.
giving me, and so
Bro.
for like an hour, I just get bullied and just
Yeah.
ripped on by everyone at
In the
this pool.
pool.
Yeah, and I was like, man, fuck this place. This place sucks, you know. And so I didn't go back. I didn't go back until I think out of high school. I was dating somebody who worked there.
Like a Bucali Flowers or something.
Yeah, and I would go and see her. And I knew that was at the time the first Nelly album came out. That was
Country
fire.
Grandma.
Yeah, but yeah, my last day there, other than like summer, I would take summer school PE and stuff because
Right.
a lot of people would, and it was fun. It'd be like
Yeah.
60 people, most of them were athletes.
Sure,
It was a good
sure.
fucking. If you're gonna do something in the summer, here you go, do some
I
summer PE.
remember it was the summer going into middle school was when we bought it. So it would have been my graduated 5th grade going into 6th grade year. That was the first year that 6th graders went to the middle school. They
Yep.
just opened that brand new branch of it.
My brother was the first class. I was
Yeah,
the
we
second.
we were like the third
Yep.
class to come in. So I remember it was the summer going into 6th grade because you're going to the new school where all the other kids from the elementary.
Yeah.
So I was super nervous, and I remember it was like 1 week before Seymour 6th grade middle school orientation, and we're at the pool, me and Alan. And I'm in the shallow end, and we're like goofing, being idiots or whatever. And it was when that Nestea plunge commercial was around. You remember?
Yeah.
Do the Nestea plunge, and people like are falling into the water.
Yeah, okay,
You know, so I was like, check it out, dude. Nestea plunge. I did it face first into the shallow end, went straight down to the bottom, and scraped my whole fucking face across the bottom of the pool from like forehead, nose, and chin, dude. And I came up and I'm bloody. The floor of that pool was
rough, and it
ragged
was new.
stucco.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like ragged
Some grip.
stucco. Yeah, had some grip down there.
Fucking
So I come
slice
up,
you
dude,
up.
looking like Two-Face, bro, man. I'm bloody. That's road rash across my face. And I just remember being so mortified because, like, after a week, I had just, like, scabs all
Brown,
over my
just-
face.
oh.
And I had to go to 6th grade orientation with all these scabs all over the side of my face. I'm like, what fucking sweet-ass first impression.
Scabies.
I look like such a fucking
Scabies. I remember.
idiot, dude.
I
Nestea plunge,
I
man.
remember a lot of the athletes obviously were younger, the athletes or whatever. I remember getting thrown out of the pool constantly.
Yeah, all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
But they would do it. We would be like, they're like, what do I gotta do to get thrown out? They're like, all right, do this on the high dive. I'll throw you
Yeah.
out. Like they just want to see you. I'm like,
Yeah.
and now that I
Do a
have
gainer
kids,
off the high
now
dive,
that,
bro.
Then blow the whistle, like, you get out.
now
you
that
know?
I have kids, I'm like, they're just like, all right, go push that girl off the high dive. All right, boom, and then they're like, ha ha, all right, you're out of here for the day.
Yeah.
Thanks for the entertainment.
Get your stale nachos.
Yeah, get out of here. And
Nachos and chlorine in your mouth were great.
Yeah. Oh man, the
be
soggy
eating
chip.
like a hot dog over there with like chlorine hands. You're disgusting.
Fucking
And then
gross.
you would meet a girl at the pool that went to a different like grade school or
Like,
middle
"Oh, I didn't
school
know
or
you were in
whatever.
this
And,
town."
they're like,
Yeah.
and then like you hit it off with them and you realize your friend's like, oh no, they're not cool, and you're like, hey, sorry, I can't be at the pool with you
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
political system as a child is
It's
terrible.
rough, man.
Man,
I
it
wouldn't
is,
want to do it again.
The hierarchy is
I wouldn't wanna do that.
unknowable. It's
Yeah.
unknowable. It has to be explained to you
It's
at
so
every
terrible.
turn. The rules.
Kids are awful
I was like,
at
but,
each other, man.
but she has boobs in
Yeah.
8th grade.
She
But
had boobs and she gave me an
Yeah.
airhead.
But the thing is
Yeah.
why your friends wasn't cool is because she wasn't interested in them.
I gave
You
her
know, so it's like you notice that too at that age when you find a girl that was interested in you, and it's like, but like she's like really good looking. So I was like, yeah, but like
She
she's not
lives
really
on
that
a-
cool.
she li-
she goes to this school or something. It's like, nah, she just don't give a fuck about you,
Yeah.
and you're
she lives
mad
on
about
Oak
it.
Street.
Yeah,
She lives on
boy.
3rd and Oak Street. So sorry, you know
nope,
that
sorry,
bus
man.
stop is not allowed at this table.
That's right.
Yeah.
she's at the mid-cast table at lunch. We're at the high tier here. We're at the high table.
Cool kid table.
Know
It is
know
literally
your place.
it's literally Game of Thrones.
No doubt. Like
That's what it is. It's
No
like
doubt.
this is like these different castles, and one thing I tell my kids is like, I was like, just don't care.
Yeah.
And I was
it
like,
really doesn't matter.
I tell my kids, I was like, you're gonna miss out on like the actual cool people.
Yeah.
I was like, because the people who are actually fun are the ones who don't go with this shit.
Right. Yeah.
They don't give a
care.
fuck either.
They don't
Like all you're looking for is, oh, you're cool, you're funny, I have fun and laugh when I'm around you. Cool, because I was like, most of these people you're not gonna talk to once school's over. You won't talk to them ever again.
I mean, look at us. Look at us three.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is the most random thing ever, right?
Yeah.
Josh we got back in each other's life later on in life, many years ago, and then fucking a Beatty shows up in my house for the second time in 3 years. Brooke's been here or whatever, but that's the way that it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like after football games on Friday night, this house was just filled with kids because they knew they could come here and just
chill.
and then and their parents would come over here or whatever, and then they because a lot of the kids that came over here didn't have dads.
Yeah.
And they always come over here, hang out, and stuff like that. Like I also get Father's Day texts from some of the kids
That's
or
nice.
whatever.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
that's
And I'm like,
nice.
do I have to send them money on their birthday now?
Yeah, like man.
I do, but
Yeah.
no, that's the part is like summertime was so great. Like, hey, let's go play baseball, and you go out on one of the fields and play.
Yeah.
But I'll be damned if you go out there if they have the field made. My pops would make the field. He'd be like, you do not fucking go to Shields.
Yeah.
You do not get on that field.
Don't get on the field.
And if you see a dog out there, you yell and tell them to get the damn dog off the field.
Yeah. I think that's just probably a product of growing up in a small town. I don't think a lot of people really have that. Maybe I'm sure someone in a big city has a completely different.
Well,
experience.
here, I mean, the boys were, literally Indianapolis is the road right there.
Yeah.
They would go swim at their friend's house a ton. Even growing up, they would go play football, and they played a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
And they would go. Greenwood has a beautiful community center.
Sure.
It's great. So they would do that.
Yeah.
And then they would just take off walking.
Yeah.
Like
Walk anywhere, bro.
They would walk anywhere, and they had their phones. That was good. So we tried to make sure they did that because everybody says, "Well, the video game generation." Like, dude, we played video game.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
it's
played
raining.
video
Let's play Coach K, and then
Yeah.
and then let's walk over to the Boys Club. Let's play basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That's like
figure
with
it out.
my kids. Like Piper, would get up in the morning and just we have to tell her a lot of times, like, hey, it's 8:00. Like, don't go outside making a bunch of noise. There's some of the neighbors are probably still sleeping,
Yeah.
and she'll be out there, and that's just where she'll be all day, outside. And then my son's like, all right, I'll play video game. No one's playing or whatever. All right, I'm gonna go outside. And then like he'll go outside, play basketball, we'll throw the football. They'll do something, run around on their bikes or whatever, and then he'll come inside. If he's inside, if I make him come inside, or if he's inside for something. He's usually throws something on TV and plays like on his Nintendo a little bit. But then like if I'm like, hey man, let's go outside and do this, like all right. Like our kids like being outside and stuff. It's just like they're not going to be outside all day. And I've talked about this with other people. It's like the people that are always like, our kids just don't go outside anymore. It's like, yeah, but like if they came near your yard or near you or too loud, you'd tell them to be
That's
quiet
perfect.
and go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So shut up about
People
the kids
become
getting out.
shittier about kids, and then they
really
wonder.
have. They have.
The boys grew up to softball fields. I played a lot of softball tournaments and stuff like that. They would come with me and hang out, and then they'd be doing that. So it's not that we have shitty kids; it's we have shitty parents.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, it's just like your kids will, I mean, but I think too, it's like if your kid is interested in video games stuff, it's not the end of the world, and it's not
No.
like
nurture their interests.
yeah, like
If they're
help them with
interested-
that. And if you're nurturing the interest, you're going to be they're going to then go outside. They're going to spend
Yeah.
time doing other
Yes.
stuff. If you
Yes.
nurture that and be like, all right, listen, this is
Nurture
how we're
their
going to do it.
interests. That's so dumb, man.
You know,
when you're
and
trying to like make your kids into something that they're not. Like I mean, there are more YouTube 10-year-old billionaires now, and they're going to be more every day, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you got these kids
Piper's about to
making
get her own
crazy
channel.
loot doing these things.
I just
man.
got
mean,
Piper.
like,
She's
nurture
been wanting
kids'
channel.
interests. I mean,
Yeah.
it's as simple as that.
Yeah, she
know.
just turned 11.
Know your
and-
kid, basically.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
Know
them.
your kid.
I mean,
Just
I
help
mean,
them out with their interest in,
Lucci turns 21 in August. Colin just turned 19 in March. They have their own job. They have their own car, and they have thousands of dollars saved up. I found out.
Sweet.
Nice.
I was like, okay.
Nice.
And
Sorry.
You're gonna
Sending them-
need
start
that when
sending
they
them
put
some,
you into a home.
Or start sending them some debt collecting. Like, oh, hey, you remember?
and then, but guess what they do? They play video games. They FaceTime their friends.
Yeah.
They both have health insurance through their jobs.
Yeah.
Like, so just just everybody needs to calm on that
The
rhetoric.
kids are all right.
But that's just a regurgitated and recycled thought.
Yeah.
Like as we go, society's always been that way. It's
Yeah.
because the older generation was shit on by their older generation. That older generation.
It's a rite of passage.
So
yeah.
let's stop this shit with the. It's
the
not
human
funny
centipede
anymore.
of
It's not
nastiness.
cool. It doesn't make us more important. Like as older people, it's like quit thinking
Well,
the kids aren't
it's-
going to be. The kids are going to be all right.
It's about
They're
having
always all right.
empathy and selflessness.
Shit changes.
It's about, there's what that old adage, plant trees in which the shade you will not sit, is like the old adage or something, basically saying, prepare the future generations for success and your life will be enriched in doing that.
Yeah,
So-
you got to give back, and giving back is key. And then they're not going to listen. They're going to listen, but until that moment happens,
Yeah.
like you can explain flying, like we're talking about a million times to somebody.
Right.
Until they take off in a plane,
Yeah, they won't
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, it's all
Right.
about the experience. For
But
sure.
you can always like prepare and give them some sort of advice before anything ever happens. Like if this ever does happen, here's a way to handle this or this and that.
Yeah.
I just for some reason this popped up in my head because no one gave me advice about this. Going back to the city pool. And another reason why I stopped going. Because the slide was the bomb, but every time I got on that, I got fucking mowed over by some older dude,
Yeah,
kid,
the top.
who they
Come
loud
down right after
yeah. By the
you,
time the
just
time I would get
blast
halfway
you.
down and there's no water because he's up there
Yeah.
laying across it, building the water up,
trying to
and I'm sitting there fucking trying to get down this shit, and you can hear him coming. Yeah,
It's drying out. You're
You
gonna
have
have
ba-
even skin.
Boom.
your bear crawling down it, you flip
Yeah, I'm
over.
like, Jesus Christ! Like I'm trying because I know he's coming.
You got
Here-
that anxiety.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Here comes the fucking 17-year-old linebacker,
Yeah,
and just
220,
boom,
hit your
right over
70
top of
pounds
me,
ass
and then
around
I'm
you.
up in the water, like looking around, and everybody's just like, "You need to get out of the way." I'm like, "Man, fuck this place, man. This place is lawless. This place sucks."
Lawless hellscape.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck with this place no
Seymour
more.
City Pool.
Got my fucking see-through wet shorts sticking to my
Josh
fucking
is
butt.
out here
Girls talking about
being
him.
an
and dudes making
exhibitionist
fun.
out here and
Yeah,
causing troubles on the
ball
slide.
sack out.
They're probably glad to get rid of you. You sound like a bad element.
there's a lot to unload there.
They're showing off the goods.
I had a
clogging up
terrible
the slide.
experience at the fucking pool.
Like, first
and
thing
that's
in
probably why I
therapy
don't
is
go to
that.
them now. I
You
probably
do.
don't. That's the reason. Like my kids and my wife will go to the pool, and they're like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, man."
The water park comes up, and he has PTSD.
yeah, they start fucking flipping
He
out.
puts on a pair of swimming trunks. That's why he got his own boat.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why
yeah.
I got
You
his
can't
own
be
boat.
on my boat.
Yeah.
That's right.
This
around
is
the
my
water.
water, my boat. You can't say
Listen.
shit. Can't,
King of the castle, captain in his boat.
Yeah.
Aye, aye, captain.
And but the thing is now as an older guy and I had some swim trunks and butt, and girls were just like, "Ooh, look at that butt." I'd be like, "Yeah, look at that butt." Like, but as a kid, you're just like, "I don't want this. Don't talk to me.
Hilarious.
You're being mean when you're not." No one was. That's the thing is like looking back is like nothing anyone ever said was mean. It was just some shit talking or
Yeah,
just like
just
busting
being-
of balls,
yeah.
But as that kid, I
You're
didn't.
so self-conscious.
so
as it-
yeah,
all
and-
kids are.
and
you don't
just-
know who you are. You're growing into your body.
Yeah,
you're
and
just-
everything
you're
that-
self-conscious about everything.
Yeah, everything that didn't match up with my thinking bothered me.
That's
The only thing that kids needed to experience that we experienced, and my son's then, was showering with your peers in 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade.
So awkward.
And then Mr. I can't think of his name, but hand you the towel when you walked out. Was it Winicky?
Winnicky,
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, he would hand a towel to make sure you showered. And now I go back and look at that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Sus.
you want to talk about having an anxiety attack?
Yeah.
You're walking, and then when you're a freshman, the boys, they don't shower after football games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? I was like, no wonder the living room smelled terrible. But we showered, and then basketball we showered, and then we put on our whatever jumps, whatever we were wearing, whatever sweats, whatever, and then we would get on the bus or go home. Right? No, not these kids.
Dang.
And I was just like, you
swampy
need
buses.
run
you
around
need to go
stanky.
through that as a freshman, showering with seniors. And then have them mock you and
Yeah.
ridicule you, where you want to drive home and not wake up in the morning.
It'll help you in life with women, You'll be able to take the women dogging you later in life naked too,
When you have
like,
Darren Ritchie and Kevin
like,
Kreinhagen walking around nude, staring at you, and like, hey, what?
Grown men.
They're like, "What is that?" And you're just like, "I don't know."
what is that?
Leave me alone. I'm sorry.
yeah, you have your voice cracking.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know.
that's your rite of passage for myself, where I was just
Brutal,
like,
bro.
and there's nothing you can do about to make hair grow faster.
No.
or
Yeah.
anything.
That's how
It's
it's
just-
Like, ain't nothing I can do
Yeah.
about that. It ain't on me. That's a
Brutal. Brutal.
looking back too. Like I've noticed with kids, like with my kids and being around other kids at schools and their friends and stuff. And going back to what you're saying when you rubbed your face on the bottom of the pool, like it was so common growing up to see kids with fucked up scabs and shit.
So
like,
many
just
wounds.
injuries, you know, and you don't see that anymore.
Knees, yeah,
Because we're ramping
bro.
bikes off ramps,
broken arms and legs.
yeah, and
bro.
yeah, not. I mean, you don't see as many broken bones, bro. Not just that, but just like scratches and
Yeah.
fucking whole arm covered in
Like, what'd you do?
burnt,
Be like,
rust-
I like wrecked my bike into a thorn
Yeah.
bush yesterday, or like I
fucking
ran into some
rode it-
barbed wire.
Yeah, rode it down a hill and fucking lost control and got the wobble going and dropped you on your
Get
side.
some road rash, man.
I jumped off a shed.
Yeah.
and they
man,
thought
so
that
much
I
dumb
thought I could
shit.
land and roll.
Do like a
I've
parkour
seen
man.
it on a movie.
I saw Schwarzenegger do it last week. Oh, Commando, check this out.
Or like, I mean, summertime wise, us growing up, like everyone's shins were all chewed up from bike pedals and
Yeah.
shit, you
Ugh.
know.
Oh my God,
And
doing
like
it to yourself. be
everyone
like,
had something fucked up. I mean,
whip
even
your
to this
bike
day,
around.
like my lower shin like doesn't grow hair.
yeah,
And like I have so many dents
Divots.
and divots in my shin from that. And I wasn't a Muay Thai fighter.
yeah.
You know, that's like you have Muay Thai legs from our age just from taking bike pedals, flipping around where your feet would come off the pedal and that thing would swing around and hit you in the shin. Oh, man.
Oh yeah, then you would go out and you would go out. It would start with like something, and then two people would start wrestling, and you wrestle more, and then you get slammed, and you can't breathe, but you're dying laughing because it's the greatest time of
Oh,
your
yeah.
life.
You just Northern
Loved
Lights suplexed me in the yard. Awesome.
How many?
Yeah.
How many power bombs led to concussions? And
Yeah,
like, why is my
dude.
brain hurting? But like, I'll be fine in the morning.
Yeah.
Just go lay down.
Oh, how many? My very first concussion was during the winter. It was at Walmart Hill. So it's the hill where the old Walmart was.
Yeah.
And that sledding was nice.
Burkhart Hill.
Yeah,
there.
Burkhart Hill. And so it's me and well, it's Nick. I won't say his
Yeah.
last name. Everybody will know. But me and Nick, and Nick and I been close our whole lives. But we're going down this hill, and of course, after like an hour doing it, it's fucking boring. How do we crank this fucking
Yeah,
up?
let's turn it up.
And so we find half a sled, and a little further down the hill where the hill's longer because it's a gradual hill, you know. There's a big ramp on the bottom. I'm like, that's badass.
Hit it.
And Nick was
Hit
like,
the
I
ramp.
dare you to take this half a sled and take it down and hit that ramp. And I'm like,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, I
think
will.
I should do that.
Challenge accepted.
And I did. And the last thing I remember, still to this day, because it just traumatized. Last thing I remember is about 5 feet from the ramp,
Yeah.
and then
I'm going pretty fast.
and moving much faster than I expected.
I'm going pretty fast
because it's
here.
one of those long like plastic sleds,
And
but it
it's
was
at
broken in
that
half.
Point, he knew
And
he had
so-
fucked up.
Yeah, so I'm on the sled like this, knees bent up, and so my weight's shifting towards the
Yeah.
back. So I'm not thinking if you hit this ramp, automatically you're
gonna-
laid out.
Yeah.
And so I remember seeing that, and thinking like, oh, here we go. And then the other thing is I remember waking up, laying down on my back, and waking up to Nick kicking me like in the ribs.
Hey man, you all right?
Like, 'cause he thinks I'm dead. Like
Yeah.
I'm out cold. And I wake up, open my eyes, look up at him, and he goes, "Hey man, you all right?" And I went, "Oh man!" And I remember if
Your
you've
head
ever like
hurts.
been knocked out,
Yeah.
that sitting up, the way your head,
hurts so
fuck.
bad, bro.
It's
Worse.
so bad.
It's like having 10,000 hangovers.
Well, you
all at
feel like
once.
this
Yeah.
this movement go as soon as you sit up, it starts in this pain in your head. It flows
Sloshing,
through your
yeah.
fucking your body.
Now,
and
did you
it's-
because on that side of the hill right there, it's basically a cul-de-sac, kind of like a little
Yeah.
cul-de-sac. Did you hit the road?
No, I hit this ramp the way it was built. I basically hit this ramp, went straight up in the air, and
fell
came.
down on your
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was like, man, I'm gonna hit this bit. I'm gonna end up in the person's yard.
Yeah, you thought
across
you were
the.
going
I'm going
far.
in that
You went
fence.
up
Yeah,
instead of
I'm
far.
thinking Christmas vacation. Like I'm gonna be a legend. No, and I remember waking up, and he was like, "Are you all
Legend in
right?"
your bruised
And
brain.
he helped me up, and I'm like, "Oh, I feel weird," you know. And he's like,
I
"Yeah,
bet.
you were asleep, you know, because we don't know concussions. This is
Yeah.
fucking
You got knocked
1990. Yeah, 90, 91, the same time. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna
better
go.
go
I'm gonna
home.
go home.
I'm
you know.
I think about enough.
And I walked my ass home.
Stumble your ass.
Yeah, and
home.
I get home and I get to the house and I call mom at work and I'm like, I don't know. I hit my head. I
prepared.
went to sleep. Like I hit my head so hard it made me go to sleep. I was like, and I'm just real tired. And she was like, yeah, just lay down and take yourself a nap.
That's the wrong thing to do.
I
when you
know,
got a
because nobody knows
condition.
what the shit. They don't know what to do. And yeah, I fell asleep for like an hour, and she woke me up when she got home from work. She's like, "How you feeling?" I feel,
I feel pretty bad.
fuck, dude. You just didn't know shit about cocaine. That was my first of many,
So-
but that was my first one.
So let's have another Burkhart Hill story here where we almost killed 2 people. So the side that Josh is talking about, people
Yeah.
just beat the shit out of it, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
It was the more popular.
So we were high school kids. We're like, hey, let's go to the other side.
yeah,
Okay.
with the ditch, you got to get off before you hit that.
Yeah.
that
So we decided to build a ramp with snow. We're
Ramp
going
the
down.
ditch.
Yeah. And no, we didn't. We want to stay out of the ditch, but we're having a good time. And one of our old friends, Andy, who was older than us, came over and said, "Hey, I found a car hood that has a string on it."
Yeah.
Was it a green one?
I think you and I talked about this.
I think we rode that bitch too. A different group of us.
So it was left over there, and then the other side was just fresh snow. No kid,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
no parents were letting kids go over there.
'Cause you,
because
No.
of the
yeah,
ditch.
you had the warehouses
This is
right there
danger.
across the.
Yeah,
hall.
well, it was Lexmark printers at the time.
Yeah.
It used to
Yeah.
be Ben Franklin building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we decided let's go down and build a ramp. We built a ramp, and then here comes this car hood. Right? I am not a science major, never have been. I didn't think about the weight of the hood.
Yeah.
All I know is it had a string on it.
Right.
So,
we
you
could get it up the
hold
hill.
on.
because I kept, but I thought you were. I was like, I have an idea. I'm gonna stand up and hold the string.
Oh.
You sit behind
Surf
me.
it.
Yeah, I surfed it.
Nice.
Hit it, landed, felt great. My cousin Chris York, I'll say his last name, great guy. He goes on there with somebody else. They missed the ramp. Straight into the ditch.
Oh no.
Where we saw Chris's torso go horizontal and wrap around a tree, and the other kid hit a tree, and all we see is just go down in the ditch.
Oh no.
I hear Andy, who brought over the car hood, go, "Oh, he dead." So he run down the hill before he did. Chris stands up and goes, "I'm all right." But it was the funnest, dumbest thing because you're going down every
gosh.
bit 30 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
dude,
Oh,
that's a
that-
steep hill. That's 50
Because
degrees.
all we did was
incline,
have,
at least.
all right, sit behind me, hold my trousers
Yeah.
while I try to stand up. All right,
Yeah.
this will be cool. Once again, there's no cameras, no video cameras. We were just doing this because we were
bored.
Something to fucking
mentally
do.
challenged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Something to do.
Got to get the adrenaline rush.
And then we were going down that thing, standing up on
Love
it,
it.
and I'm just like cackling like I just touched a
Yes.
boob for the first
Yeah.
time and hit the ramp, and you're 20 feet in the air,
That's
but there's so much
crazy.
snow because it hasn't been worn down. We're
Right.
doing flips, and I'm like, at 44, broken down. I'm like, this may have contributed.
yeah, to my pains today.
But yeah, it was the greatest time ever. Kids, if you're listening to this, do not go do that on that side
Don't
of the
surf
hill.
car hoods.
That-
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
the
good
car.
rule,
That's
though.
what's crazy because I think it was a green like Mustang hood.
It was.
Yeah, and-
Absolutely.
And, so
How
we-
wild is that?
That's
We
hilarious. You guys
found
know.
that. We found that hood in the ditch.
That's funny. Somebody's like, "Hey, check this
and
out."
so
man."
there was 4 of us, and we were like, "Oh, there's a car hood. Let's go down this side."
Amazing.
And it's the usual suspects: Nick, John.
All you
It
cats
might
over
have been
there.
Greg, but yeah, it's just our usual. There's 4 of us, and so we get up top of the hill, and we're all gonna sit on it. We're like, "Dude, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. We'll ride this out." But we like. Because we took it up first, we took it all the way top and then let it ride
Right
to
by
see,
itself.
see the speed.
Give it a test run.
Yeah,
You're
got-
not that dumb.
Get some data
Let's,
first.
let's
yeah,
see
we did
how
it.
fast this
Yeah, we did
bugger
it
is
too. We
gonna
let it go
move.
down by itself, like, and we were like,
Okay.
half of us probably should only earn a GED. Going,
Yeah. Everybody kind
This'll
of
work.
rubbing their chins, looking
This
at
is
it, going,
doable.
Well,
I think it's force to the second
it's
power inertia.
certainly dangerous, but I think it's survivable.
As
Shall
long
we
as
give
we
it a go?
reach 32 miles per hour.
But if we exit here,
Yeah, well,
You
that's the thing. So we're like,
Josh is doing
Brilliant.
a seating chart. Like, all right, dude, make sure you're
we need to make sure the way.
Galifianakis and the Hangover equations flashing across your eyes as you're.
So we're like, all right, we don't want to hit the ramp though, but we want to write it down together, and we all agreed we have to ditch before we get to the ditch, like
Yeah.
roll off. And so I'm one of the guys in the front. There's the guy next to me to my right, a guy behind me holding on to me, and another guy behind the other guy holding on to him. We're all in the same position.
Need
And
a
we're like,
cell
all
phone,
right. So
need a
we're sitting
video.
there, and the guys in the back, of course, they get to have, but they both have to hold on to the railing,
Right,
to the
yeah.
fucking the metal railing,
Yeah,
to the bridge,
road, to the
to the road,
up
and
there.
you're holding there, making sure everybody gets settled in. All right, are you guys? Everybody good with? Everybody knows we got to. Everybody,
right.
is
Hold
everyone,
on.
Yeah,
Everybody good?
does everyone still want to do this?
Yeah, are you still
like
in?
this is a team
I need
thing.
verbal confirmation here before we
Yeah.
risk all our lives.
So we're like, all right. So remember, and we made our mark. We went down at the bottom of the hill, made a line. This is where we need to, at least everyone
Bail.
needs to bail out, and you need to roll so
Point
you can
of no
roll. You know.
return.
Oh my God, dude, we don't even get to that line. This thing.
Wipe out
All right, let
halfway.
go. We let go, and we get maybe 10 feet.
and
The guy
immediately
next to
tumble,
me,
falls
I'll
off.
keep names out. This is still one of the funniest things he's ever did, and I still to this day, he immediately is over it. And so, yeah, and he
Bails.
goes, I'm bailing, and the guy lets go, and he's like, not now. Instead of rolling, he jumps forward.
Oh, gets
And so
run over by
he goes to try to jump, and he pushes, and of course we all feel it because he's
You're
on a slick, so he moves the sled as we're going. And he goes face out. He just wipes and takes the other guy out with
Oh,
him. So
my
they both just get
goodness.
taken out. And of course we look and we're just like laughing in fear, like, holy shit. And it's like, all right. And then I feel the guy let go. He bails. And then I bail. And everyone's fine other than the guy who bailed early, who had taken the edge of the
spear.
fucking of the hood across his fucking neck. And luckily it wasn't, I mean, he had a mark, like a blood mark,
Yeah,
but it
he's lucky
wasn't
he didn't
slit.
get slashed, bro.
Didn't get slit, but he had enough to where he got like it pushed
Bro.
into enough skin. And
Crazy.
and then that we were like, okay,
To
we
the
almost
neck.
killed this guy. Like we're not doing that anymore, And so
We did like 20 times.
yeah.
And people kept bailing, right?
Yeah.
And then I just remember like there's older kids watching, and I was still younger in high school, and I was like, I'm not going to bail. And then, but it was just it goes back to that factor of looking cool in front of people, and then. But
So
then again,
ridiculous.
I've been diagnosed as true story with high pain tolerance. I didn't realize at times how bad I hurt myself, and
Right.
because I didn't feel it,
Yeah.
right? And then now it's like, oh my god. But it was just so much fun. So I think we have a new T-shirt idea. Is
Green Mustang hood.
with
flying
the
down the hill.
with a person on with a string and just put a red circle with an X over it. Kids, do not get on a car hood.
They'll do it. It's
Another
dangerous.
go back to summertime. I remember in our neighborhood we had houses being built around us because my parents were one of the first people who built in the neighborhood, and it was basically one road, and then they started adding shit. And so for a good chunk of my life, we had a bunch of cornfields surrounding us, and that's where we spent a lot of time. But when they were starting to build the neighborhoods, they had the streets gravelled down. They didn't have no asphalt or anything
Right.
in them, and they had mounds of rock and sand.
Yeah.
We had one buddy. There was 3 of us, and one of the guys who we could normally talk into doing some crazy shit. Like, or a lot of times he would come up with it, and we'd be like, yes, like
Yeah.
do that. We want to see that. So he says, I'm going to ramp this big pile of sand. And when this sand, I'm saying, is like 8 feet tall. It's fucking sand, though.
You
It's
just gotta
sand.
Dive into it.
And
It's sand.
and
yes.
the other aspect is no helmet, right?
yeah.
no helmet.
Okay.
no
Nothing.
Just we
Nothing.
we have to
So-
say that.
So he
for
gets
sure.
down to the end of the street. And he's like, I'm going to get some speed. And I remember looking at the other dude, and I was like,
This is gonna be some Looney Tunes
Yeah, I was
shit.
like, you can't ramp sand.
But you're not telling the dude that
no.
because you want to see.
I
what
want to see this
happens.
dumbass does. And the guy with me, he goes like, no. He's like, this is gonna be great. And so, if you've ever had a BMX bike to where you get speed, how do you get speed on
You
a
gotta
BMX?
rock it.
You gotta rock it.
You gotta
gotta
rock that
stand
sucker
up
side to
and you
side,
gotta
man.
just fucking get in it, And he's doing that, and he's good 40 yards away, and he's fucking cruising, and he hits this pile of sand and Looney Tune shit.
Yeah, dude.
Bam! Bike hits it. It goes straight in the sand, and he's off. To the point he's
Just
reaching for
ball
air,
trying to grab the sand.
trying to grab air, feet up. He comes down, chest and face first, feet scorpioned over, like he's a fucking
Full
letter C.
scorpion.
Yeah, letter C sliding on
On
this
his chest
chewed
and
up
face.
dirt that's mixed with like rock and dirt where they're about to put fucking asphalt down.
Love it.
And he immediately jumps up and he's just like you could just tell. He's like, I lost my nipple. I've lost my nipple.
Destroyed.
You know, yeah. And then we had to go, and he lifts his shirt up, and I mean, his chest is eaten. And I was like, no, your nipple's still there. He goes, oh, it burns so bad. And oh man. But yeah, I just remember him hitting that,
The
and just
dumbest.
another thing. It's one of those slow motion where you're just watching
can
this happen,
see
like
it.
holy shit.
Amazing.
Because we didn't think he was really going to do it. We thought he was kidding. He was somebody who would say some shit and see how we would react if we were going to push him to do it. And then he'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
That's
Your guys
the
are
old rite of
And he
passage,
didn't, man. He hit that thing hard. And it's like, you probably should have just hit this one of wood, this little hill of wood we've had. We
Right?
could have made something. But you wanted to ramp sand. But yeah,
Shit, bro. That's fucking
summertime
great.
is a great time.
It is, man.
I always love seeing my kids because do it, and just kids in general. When that summer coming off the bus, it's like that's a moment everyone gets, and it's a great feeling. I think it's a feeling that everyone enjoys,
Yeah.
especially at the time
Just
of
having
school.
those no responsibilities, man. You
Yeah.
got free time to do whatever you want. It's just
You got shit
it's
planned.
a very important part of a young person's development.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
it was for me, and
it's
I
an
have to
eff-
assume it still
It's
is.
it's kind of a victory run too. You
Yeah.
got through the school
No
year.
doubt. This is your dessert.
This
man.
is what
This is your reward.
This is what you play for.
You did
right?
9 months of hard work. These are your 3 months of play,
Yeah.
man, and you go hard during the summer as you should,
so,
bro.
So much fun. Yeah.
Man, I wish I could.
Yeah, let your
have
kids
3
go
months
hard,
out.
man. Let your kids have a good time during the summer.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Miss the summers.
Yeah.
Miss the summers off. Shout out to teachers who get the summers off and don't take another job and just kick it all summer for them, man.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of teachers they got
Yeah.
a tutor and they got
They
shit
have
to
to
make a
always-
living.
yeah,
you know?
tutors
And
there,
most
and
teachers only
teachers
get
don't
like
make-
6
yeah.
weeks off now
They don't
because
make
they're
no
right back to
money
work.
anyway.
You know.
Pay teachers.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hashtag pay teachers. We love you. But yeah, summertime.
Yeah,
Great
man.
time.
Give us a call or an email. Leave some comments on our social media about some
Yeah,
of what
let's-
you guys did during the
Yeah,
summer.
call
some,
in and tell us some cool
crazy
summer stories.
shenanigans. Tell us about how you almost got decapitated riding
With a
a
car hood.
hood down a hill.
Man, we wouldn't have known what to do.
Yeah,
That gave us our squirting blood out of his neck.
that'd have been awesome.
Yeah, but great times. Summers where memories are made,
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
here in the Midwest. I mean,
Looking forward to it.
summer is a time where it's Midwest. It's weather's pretty shitty
Beautiful.
most of the time, you know. So this is the time where things
Beautiful.
can happen. First loves, first kisses, holding hands. You know, there's a lot of shit that happens in the summer. So
Bubblegum and apple pies
So,
at the
let's,
pool where you show your penis. in your
let's give
shorts.
our kids the opportunity to have great experiences
Yeah,
and
man.
stuff. And you know, don't be yelling at them to stay out of your yard or to be quiet. And quit calling
the lawn,
Quit calling the cops on the kids playing baseball in a
Let kids be
mound
kids.
or in a
You'll be all right.
baseball diamond that may be locked because they jumped the fence to play. Let them
Let 'em
fucking
play.
play.
Could be worse. They could be injecting a marijuana.
Yeah, they could be once.
Never again.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. We appreciate you as always. Peace.
Be well.